everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am very excited to share with all of you my first impressions of two of the latest releases from Cosmetics. So I have here the Daydream Cushion in the shade Sweet Secret, which is for medium and tan skin tones. And this is a cushion compact foundation with sunscreen in it. So this actually has broad spectrum SPF 50 PA+++. So very exciting to have a combo kind of skincare and foundation product. So let me just show you guys the compact over here. It's this really nice, simple white compact, and it has this cute little puff here that's shaped in this sort of teardrop shape, so you can kind of get in nicely under the eyes. And then here we have the cushion itself. So let me actually just remove this. There we go. So this is how the cushion looks like. And there's actually an additional cushion provided as well. So after you're done with the first one, you can just switch it out for the second one without having to buy a new compact. And I like that they offer this additional compact because this is a relatively pricey product. It is your standard kind of higher end foundation product at $40 to $50. And so each of these compacts has 0.42 fluid ounces. And so having both of them kind of brings it closer to your standard 1 fluid ounce that you would get from a typical foundation bottle. So I am usually not someone to use foundation at all, and I don't really have many cushion compacts. So I'm really excited to try this guy out. And then the other product I have is their latest release, which is the Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush. And this is in the shade Venetian Rose. Look at how pretty that is. So it's in the same compact shape as the previous ones with this kind of domed baked formula. And this is one of my favorite blush formulas of all time. So I was super excited when this came out because if you guys have been watching my channel, you know I love rose shades. I have so much of the Divine Rose collection from Pat McGrath. And then I also really love Cosmetics. So this is kind of two of my favorites put in one. So I am very excited to try this out. And in fact, one of my favorite lip products of late has been this lip cushion in Venetian Rose, also from Cosmetics. So I'm really excited to now have this duo so I can basically do a full face of natural makeup with these two. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. So typically I have much more involved makeup looks on my channel, but for today we're gonna keep it really simple, really natural, and just base a look around these products, bringing in some other Cosmetics products to just fill in the gaps. So without further ado, let's get into the makeup. So I have nothing on my face right now, so we can go ahead and start with this little compact here. So let me just first try to get a little bit of this and put it on the back of my hand to see the comparison of the shade. Okay, I think this will work quite well for my skin tone. It looks like quite similar, at least to the shade on my hand. So let's go ahead and use this little compact and stamp it on my face. Okay, yeah, I think the shade match is decent. And I'm glad I picked this shade because I was a little bit on the fence since recently with the winter time, I feel like my skin has gotten a little bit more medium and a little less tan. And for their shade range, I think they have a light medium and then this one is the medium tan. So they don't really have one just for medium skin tones, but I think this is perfect. If it was any lighter, it would definitely look less flattering on my skin. This is quite similar to my natural skin tone. So I think they only have around 6 shades at the moment, so it might be a little bit tricky to find your shade match, and I hope they do expand that to make it a little bit more inclusive. But at least I think they do a decent job of ensuring that their 6 shades are pretty spread out. So it's not like you have 5 shades that are all pretty light and then 1 deeper shade. So this is definitely pretty light coverage. You see I have a little bit of a pimple there and a little pimple on my nose as well. And it's not necessarily covering up those spots, which is fine. I wouldn't necessarily expect a lightweight product to do so, but it feels really nice. It doesn't really feel like I have anything on my skin, which is my preferred state of feeling. As I mentioned at the top, I basically don't really wear foundation typically. I usually just put on some concealer in my problem areas and just, you know, call it a day. So we'll see if this becomes something that I end up using more on a daily basis. And I do like that it has sunscreen in it, even though I don't think with these sorts of products they can have enough sunscreen to really compensate for an actual layer of sunscreen, but it's nice to have that additional layer of protection on top of your skin. Alright, there we go. So that was roughly 2 layers or so on my skin, and I think that looks pretty nice. It's definitely a very natural finish. I'm not really seeing any additional dewiness or any drying as a result of that product. I think this is really good for an everyday basis if you just want something to kind of even out your skin tone a little bit, but not necessarily anything with high coverage or that feels cakey on the skin. That said, I do feel like I could still use a little bit more coverage in my under eye area and places where I do have some blemishes. So I'm gonna go in now with my Glossier Stretch Concealer in the shade G8, and this is what I typically wear on an everyday basis. So I usually just put this in my problem areas and just leave it at that. So hopefully combining these two today just gives a more perfected appearance. There we go. So I think that actually blended in quite well. And I really do like how my skin doesn't really feel like it has anything on it. It almost just feels like I put kind of additional layer of really lightweight sunscreen on it. And even if I touch my face, I don't really feel like any product is coming off, which is great because I hate it when, you know, you accidentally touch your face on something over the course of the day and then it's just foundation transfer all over the place. So this is definitely a very lightweight product that's just gonna kind of blur out and even out your skin tone a little bit, but not really feel like you have much on the skin. So before we go into this new product over here, I just want to go ahead and apply some of this Venetian Rose lip cushion since my lips are getting a little bit dry. So you can see this is a really gorgeous muted rose shade, and you just kind of twist the bottom in order to screw the product up. So there it is on the lips, and as you can probably see, it's more or less the same shade as my lips, maybe just ever so slightly more cool toned. And so I really love this on a daily basis. This has basically been my go-to lip product for any sort of day when I'm just going to work, but just want something that's nourishing on the lips and also can kind of even out the pigmentation in my lips. So this is opaque enough that it definitely evens everything out, and it gives you the effect of having a lip product on, but it has the feeling of just a nourishing balm. I really love this. It keeps my lips hydrated throughout the day while still looking really nice and professional. So now I'm just gonna go in with some brow cream from Cosmetics. So this is the Espresso Micro Fluffing Brow Cream. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows, and then we can get this eye look started. So here we are with the brows then, and in case you guys haven't seen this product before, it has this really, really tiny spoolie that I think is perfect for just applying the right amount of product to your brows without kind of making them feel slicked down or like they have a lot of product weighing them down. And this is actually one of my favorite brow mascaras of all time. I love just using this on an everyday basis since once it does dry down, it provides that sort of volume and fluff to your brows as the name suggests. So I really enjoy this on days when I want kind of a full brow but a pretty natural look overall. So now the moment we've all been waiting for, this lovely Venetian Rose blush. So today I'm gonna put this all over my lids in lieu of eyeshadow, just so we can kind of have this nice monochromatic look really based around this color story. So first I'm just gonna take my Sonia G Classic Crease Brush and then brush this all along the outer part of the lid. And wow, this is quite pigmented. That is quite impressive. This picks up a lot more than I would have anticipated, especially for a blush. So if you do have a deeper skin tone, I feel like this might work for you. And actually, I'm gonna also just sweep this all over the lid with this brush. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. This is a very pretty flush. Taking a Wayne Goss number 6, just so I have a little bit more control, I'm gonna sweep this all along the lower lash line. And then since I have this brush handy, I'm just gonna pack on a little bit more of this on the lid. Alright, so that was a really quick and easy, just one and done eyeshadow look. Obviously, if you leave it just as this, you might look a little bit like you have pink eyes, so I'm gonna go in now with my Cosmetics Illustrative Brush Liner in the shade Brown, just to kind of define the eyes a little bit more. So here we are with the eyeliner done, and I think this kind of just ties everything together, so we have this really pretty, soft, romantic, easy one and done eyeshadow look. And I love how monochromatic the eyes and the lips are. So now let's just finish off this look using this as an actual blush. So I have here my Artist Large brush from Wayne Goss, and I'm just gonna lightly tap on this and sweep this. Ooh, okay, this guy is pretty pigmented. Let me actually divide that across my two cheeks and blend this out. Definitely put way too much of this on to begin with, but I think it's blending out nicely. Dabbing on some more on the other side. Putting some more on the outer portion of the cheeks. Alrighty, there we go. So this is a really pretty flush. And I would say on initial application, this does seem to be quite a bit more pigmented than the other two Cosmetics blushes. So if you do have a deeper skin tone and found that those didn't work very well for you, this might actually work better. Speaking of the other two blushes, I actually have both of them here, so why don't we do some swatch comparisons. So first, this is Venetian Rose. And yeah, that is definitely very pigmented. It almost looks more like an eyeshadow than a blush when you swatch it. Next up, we have Magic Hour, which you can see even just from the finger swatch is a lot lighter. So yeah, definitely looks way more like a typical blush when you swatch it. It's a lot more peachy pink rather than this muted rose color, and also just a lot more sheer. Like, I'm working to build it up so you guys can see the pigment a little bit more, whereas this was just one swipe. And then lastly, we have Faded Clementine, which is a little bit more pigmented, I think, than Magic Hour, but still on the lighter side. So let me build that up a little bit more for you guys. So there we go. Those are the three shades, and you can definitely see these two are much lighter than this one. And this one has much more of kind of a deep, slightly mauvey berry tone to it compared to the other two. But they all do have this gorgeous sheen to them. So that's one thing I really love about the Cosmetics blush, because you don't necessarily need a highlighter on top of them. I don't know if you guys can see on my face, but it definitely has this nice glow from within look to it. So it won't look like you have a beaming highlight by any means, but if you're just doing kind of a natural everyday makeup look, I think this blush is a perfect product to add a flush, but also a bit of glow on top of that. It might be easier to see actually in the finger swatches some of that glow and reflectivity. They all do have a little bit of micro glitter in them, but for me, I think it actually looks quite natural on the skin when blended in. So that shimmery effect is something I actually really enjoy in this product. And then in case you guys are curious in terms of how these shades compare in pan, I'll just hold them up side by side so you can see them. So of course this is Venetian Rose, and this guy over here is Magic Hour, which is the OG shade for Cosmetics. And as you can see from the swatches, this one is both a little bit deeper and also definitely has more pinky mauvey rose, whereas this one has more of kind of a peachiness and more of a golden sheen to it. And next we have Faded Clementine, the second major color story from Cosmetics. And this one is obviously more orange, but also a bit lighter, peachier, and golden compared to this one over here. So overall, based on my initial impressions, I am very pleased with both of these products. So with this product, it just feels really nice on the skin. I don't really feel like I have anything additional on top of my skin, but it did do a good job of just evening out my complexion a little bit, adding a little bit more sunscreen protection, which is great. And then the blush really blended seamlessly into it. And I'm also quite pleased with this shade match. So you can see now the product has dried on my hand, and there might be a little bit of oranginess that you can see in comparison to my natural skin tone. But overall, it's actually quite an exceptional shade match considering they only have like 6 or so shades. And I do think this product is lightweight enough that even if your shade match isn't super precise, it'll probably look fine on your skin as long as you're not trying to build it up to full opacity. The real star, in my opinion, though, is definitely this blush. I am so glad that I picked this up. It is just such a gorgeous pinky mauvey shade, and it's just so perfect for an everyday wear. So if you guys watch my channel, you know I very rarely just do a one and done eyeshadow look. On most days, I just don't really wear eyeshadow unless I'm gonna do something that's a bit more of a special look. So when I do eyeshadow, I try to go all out and do a much more elaborate look. But I actually really dig this just monochromatic look that I have on today. I think because everything just matches very well with each other. Even though each component by itself might be just kind of boring and plain, I think all together it actually makes a really beautiful, just very put together look. And I think this shade in particular is just really flattering for a wide variety of skin tones. So I think if you are lighter than me, you'll definitely need to take a lighter hand with this product because it definitely is way more pigmented than the other blushes that M Cosmetics has come out with. But I think the shade will still be quite flattering on your skin because it is a type of pink that is nude enough that it looks quite natural and quite professional. And then if you have deeper skin than me, and you haven't been very pleased with M Cosmetics' previous releases, I think this one is a great one to check out because it definitely has way more pigmentation than the previous ones. And based on some of the ads that I've seen, it does look like it shows up well on deeper skin tones and it brings that beautiful flush. So I am very pleased with this product. And I feel like this combo of this blush plus this lip cushion might become my favorite go-to everyday combination now. So kudos to M Cosmetics for expanding their Venetian Rose line, and I'm super excited for any future releases they have here. I hope they'll come out with a true gloss formula because you guys know I love that formula so much. And I haven't been a huge fan of their Divine Skies palettes. At least the Magic Hour one I got was really not necessarily my cup of tea from an eyeshadow quality perspective. But if they came out with a Venetian Rose color theme, I don't know, maybe I would have to pick it up just because I do really love this color story so much. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful in case you were eyeing any of these new M Cosmetics products. If you guys like M Cosmetics as well, I would love to hear what your favorite products are from them because at this point I have most of their collection, but who knows, maybe there's some hidden gems out there I still haven't tried. So thank you all so much for joining me today, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!